So a lot of people ask me, hey Toby, what kind of camera should I get if I want to start making videos for the internet? And I normally say, just use your bloody phone. It's almost guaranteed that a phone these days is going to do a better job than an under $2,000 camera. Except maybe this one. This one could change my mind. Now, I've not really vlogged before, but this is a vlogging camera, so I'm gonna give a little vlog a try. We're headed to the markets. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yes, we are.
Vlog. The first thing I noticed with this camera, it is completely built with spur-of-the-moment vlogging in mind. It's actually pocketable, and to turn it on, all you have to do is flip the screen out. It also has a dedicated photo and video button, so you don't have to worry about going in and switching modes. All these little features together make for a perfect point and shoot that can get you rolling or filming within seconds. Probably faster than most other phones or cameras. That's fast. The lens is 24 to 70mm equivalent, which covers pretty much everything that you find in your daily life. You can zoom into stuff pretty close with the long end, but you can also show kind of wide shots. At its widest, the lens is about wide enough for your face, maybe for two people. And for a little Ryan Gosling. You can see in that shot though, even though it's at full arm's length, you're still not getting my entire head in the shot, it's cutting off the top. For a camera that's meant to be pointed at your face most of the time, it's just not wide enough. The f-stop is variable depending on your zoom, but it ranges from 1.8 at the widest to 2.8 at the longest, so you're still able to get a pretty good deal of light and bokeh. Look, there's even a dedicated button here that will automatically adjust the settings to make sure you have the blurriest background possible. Yum yum yum, blurry backgrounds. That's what vlogs are all about. The autofocus is also very impressive. You rarely find it hunting for things. It just kind of knows where to go. It's also weirdly good at knowing when to switch between your face and an object that you're showing the camera. So here's my earbuds. It flipped straight to them. Also, earbud review coming next week. These are amazing. Hit subscribe if you want to see that. Switch back to my face, and yeah, it just did it straight away. Boom. Bam. Boom. Bam. It's lucky that the autofocus is good, because manual focusing on this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on a camera. As for the audio, you can kind of hear me now when the camera's this close, or when I kind of turn it around and just point it at stuff. But the further away that you get, yeah, the sound kind of drops off pretty quickly. Hey Chris.
Yes. Can you hear me? Is it good quality?
Not really. It also has this little dead cat that you can pop on top, and that just sits in the hot shoe on the top here. It's pretty good for, you know, if it gets windy, or just for stopping popping noises if you're up close and spitting into the microphone. For something that would normally be an accessory that you have to go out and buy, it's a pretty nice little inclusion. Who's a dead cat? Yeah, so the internal mic on this is pretty decent. If you're whipping it out and just shooting stuff, it'll do a decent enough job that you can get away with it. If you are serious about using this for an internet video device, I would consider getting a second mic that you can mount on top, something like a shotgun mic, or maybe even a lapel. I feel like the internal mic of this, it just kind of collects sound around the camera, so it's always a little bit too messy for my tastes.
It's 2% light theory.
I'm in hell. By the way, speaking of hell, I have some problems with this here camera. They're not quite hell level, but they're annoying. Because it is so small and light, if you do go handheld with this, you still get pretty shaky footage because you've got all of these micro jitters going on. The same thing happens on phones and cheaper SLRs, but it's really noticeable on this. It does have stabilization, but it's digital, so it needs to crop in the image a little bit to stabilize it. This means you kind of have to choose. Do I want smooth footage, or do I want a wider shot? Also, here's why I'm going to be talking to you for the rest of this video, and the vlog is over. The battery on this is just not good. I started at full charge. I made sure it was fully charged before I left because I already knew it was a bad battery, and about an hour into shooting, it was already completely dead. For a camera that's all about spontaneity and portability, you would think You would think it would have a better battery, but it's just not good enough. I may sound angry about this, and it is true, I am, because it ruined my very cool vlog. On top of that, now, I always appreciate it when you can charge a camera directly into the body, and on this one you can, but guess what the port is? Now, this camera did come out in 2020, which, we're all a little bit damaged from 2020, but not so damaged that we all have micro USB ports. This is nah, come on. Final gripe, but it is a pretty big one. This camera is just generally a pain in the ass to use. Where's the button? Can't find the right button. Some of it definitely comes down to the lack of buttons, so you have to kind of go into the mode menus and pick what you want. It just kind of left me setting my camera up at the start of a day and then just never changing the settings at all. Mostly just sticking to automatic. You just have to dig through so much stuff to actually change what you want, and if you're shooting on the fly, it's just not going to cut it. You just don't have access to those settings. Before I started playing with this camera, I kind of assumed it was like an entry-level camera, one that people could pick up and sort of learn how cameras work on. But man, if I learned how to use cameras on this, I probably would have given up. I'm sorry. The menus and everything are just way too clunky when you're trying to capture a moment. Oh, actually, sorry, I do have one more gripe, but it's not about the camera. It's about this, the Bluetooth remote control, which you can buy separately. I would not recommend you buy this.
Yeah, it looks and feels like cheaper plastic than the camera, which is saying something. And get this, it's 179 Australian dollars.
You will want some kind of tripod-like device so you can both get it further away from your face and set it up to sort of take a photo without having someone hold the camera, but you don't need to spend $179 to do that. Just buy a GorillaPod. They're a quarter of the price and they're way more versatile. All you're missing out on are the buttons, and guess what? I didn't use them once.
So, is this a good choice for budding video creators?
Yeah, if you are wanting to switch or upgrade from a smartphone to a dedicated camera, then this is certainly an option, and it gives you a lot more control over your image.
The lens and picture quality are just great right out of camera, and it does allow you to get shots you'd never be able to capture on a phone. Plus, unlike most dedicated cameras, it's actually pocketable. The speed at which you can whip this out and start filming might just make this entire package worth it to you.
But yeah, I'm just not entirely sure I can recommend this to most people. The battery is just bad, it has micro USB, the menus are clunky, and the wide end of the lens is just not wide enough for vlogging. Yeah, for now, if you're getting into internet video, I would still recommend just investing in a really good smartphone. They're way more reliable and kind of just do everything a little bit better. But hey, I would at least mention this as another option if you don't want to go the smartphone route. And yeah, maybe just look out for the next one. This is a really great idea. It almost got there, but yeah, needs a little bit more work. If you are looking for a good camera phone, it doesn't actually have to be the most expensive and latest flagships. You can actually get really good cameras in pretty much any mid-range phone as well. I review 3 of Samsung's best right here, and you can check that video out to see some camera examples. I could do this all day. Well, I couldn't. The battery sucks.